everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Allie. I am an abstract line artist who uses ink as their main media. So in today's video I am going to be talking about how staying stagnant was killing my creativity. If you like my art and the things that I have to say, please don't forget to subscribe and like that video and share with your friends. Now, please leave a comment if you be so inclined to do so. Helps me grow my channel, helps me know how I'm doing, and if you want to just say hi, hi. Now, let's get into the video. Like many of you out there, I too have the standard 9-to-5 job, full-time job. I know what it's like to sit at a desk. Fortunately, I have a sitting job where I sit all day long and then I'm on the computer all day long. So it actually kind of surprises me that I'm getting into editing and video making, but to me it kind of seems like a more inspiring creative process than having to work and do work for somebody else that doesn't really fulfill me as a person. Now, for quite a while, at least the majority of this year, I've felt fairly stagnant in the work that I was doing, currently am doing, and I just couldn't figure out what the heck to do as far as my creative process was concerned outside of work. I felt like I was making art, but kind of for myself, but pushing towards this grander idea that I wanted to start my business. Well, when you have such a grand goal of, I want to start my art business, but it doesn't really go anywhere, you have all these what ifs staring you at in the face, and going through each and every one of them before you even take the first step is also a wall that I was running into. I don't think that was helping with the stagnation of my creativity and my motivation to even get out of bed. Why would I get out of bed if nothing is motivating me, if nothing is fulfilling in my life other than everything outside of my creative process and work, which was very few and minimal things. Before I get to it too much farther in my little rant that you're here on this journey with me, in today's video I'm working on something that's kind of more simplistic for me. Just drew some triangles and now I'm just filling in that blank space. With all that being said, this is the reason why I've decided to start my YouTube channel and kind of figure out the art game, so to speak, reach as many people as I possibly can, telling other people that you can do it. People who look at my art go, oh my goodness, that's so amazing, I wish I could draw like that, or I wish I could do things like that. And it really tells me how often just even other artists that I've met and other people who do their thing, once you reach a certain point, you have to accept where your art is at and go, you know what, I can improve and I can get better. And if I like someone's art style, I'm going to use it. And I'm going to go off of that. There's nothing wrong with, you like an art piece that I've done? Okay, copy it. See if you can recreate it. See if you can do it like I did. Maybe you do your own twist on it. Maybe you even do it better than what I have done. Or you think you've done it better than I have done. My ego is now screaming at me. But yeah, that's kind of the point I'm wanting to make this YouTube channel, is to encourage people to keep going, and that you can actually make content regardless of your circumstances. If you have a cell phone, which is what I'm recording this audio on right now, then you can just do voiceovers if you want. You can do voiceovers over Stagnant pictures of your artwork. If you don't really have the ability to do videos. You don't need the fanciest equipment to start off with, because you just have to get that ball rolling. And once you get that ball rolling, you've already taken the first step, so now you just need to take the next one and the one after that. And it was, starting this YouTube channel was almost like climbing up a mountain and then finally reaching the top just to see more mountain. That anticipation of starting. And going up that mountain, thinking to yourself, like, you just don't feel like you're growing as a person, even though you're still kind of inching forward. But it's not until you really reach that top that you'll get to where you want to be. In taking that first step, it is almost liberating. And my creativity seems to be at a high now that I've taken that step, instead of, oh, what is my business going to look like in 5-10 years? What do I have to do to get it up and running? I have to get the bank account. I have to do this. I have to do that. My art has to be perfect in some way. It has to be on par with the big leagues out there. And just setting that down. First, I set that down to just create. Just creating artwork, figuring out what I like to draw, figuring out what media I like to work with, figuring out what I like to experiment with, actually letting your creativity go, wow, that's really cool, and then also allowing yourself to copy what you've seen. It really is okay. Like I said before, like you'll be fine. As long as you're putting your own twist on it, I don't see any reason why there should be any issues. Now, my mind was so focused on what would be needed to come next. Keyword if, I started my art career, and I forgot about taking the time to actually focus on the in the moment process. It just took the wind out of my sails trying to figure everything out. But you have to get that ball rolling first before you even have to worry about a lot of things that a business provides for yourself. You have to even see if you can do the damn thing. And the beautiful thing about the world we live in today is that we have the power to look up and search for topics and how-tos on literally anything. You want to learn about sharks? Go to Google. You want to learn about Yetis? Go to Google. You want to learn about, I don't know, how to edit a video for free? You go to Google. And so I did. I kind of got to the point where I was like, oh, what would it be like to create video content, short form content, even if it's like a short or reel, YouTube, TikTok, which I do not have a TikTok account. Kind of thinking about getting one just for short form content, because that seems to be where everyone's at right now. But right now I only have a couple of shorts. This is my first YouTube video, which I'm super excited to just even be able to put this out and have people watch it. And I really hope I'm not ranting for no reason and that you do take some value in what I'm saying today. And I hope to have more conversations like this in the future. I also hope that you guys get to know me a little bit better on a personal level, not just seeing a hand drawing some lines like I do see many of you doing. You kind of just have to get over. It's one of those things where you kind of have to get over yourself a little bit. Just try it. That's the thing. If you don't like the sound of your own voice, or you've never even thought about recording an audio of your own voice, there are apps out there. Just do like a little test, like a 1-2, I'm testing this audio to see how it sounds. And then play it back to yourself. And then see what it sounds like scripted, maybe. If you have to script your videos, short form content, that's okay too. You don't have to show your face like I do. You don't have to do everything that I'm doing. I'm not trying to push anybody in a certain direction. I'm just encouraging people to maybe get out of their comfort zone a little bit and to know that you can get to where you want to go artistically if you just put your mind to it and maybe challenge yourself just that like inch more to see, oh, maybe I can, because then you start building that confidence to actually follow through and do it. Now, I actually started looking up like really, really basic things on my computer that I already have. Now, I understand a lot of people don't have a computer, but you can create accounts for software that you can create accounts for like video editing and audio editing on the internet, so you don't necessarily have to have a computer to do it. It's a little more difficult on your cell phone just because the cutting and the clipping is a little intense sometimes, but if you have a local library that allows free access to computers with just having a library membership, then there you go. You can go and do that too. It'll make your life a little easier. It might make you have to go out of your way a little bit, but that is an option, and those are some options that you can look into. So one day I just searched to see what kind of apps were available on my computer. I have a Microsoft tablet, and I don't remember which one I have, but it's a pretty intense one. Mostly got it for the tablet purposes, so I could dabble in digital art. So far I haven't gotten very far with that, but I think it'll be next steps, future, possibly. So I just looked into, are there any editing softwares, like video editing, anything? And I actually found a app called Clipchamp. Microsoft Clipchamp. So far, it's not bad. It obviously it's producing this video right now, not sponsored at all, but it is pretty straightforward, and it's actually quite simple and easy to use. Very sleek platform. It's like a good start. So if you have something like that you can look into, or just even a Google search of like what are free video editing software that I can just download onto my computer or have on my phone. Maybe there's some apps out there that are a little bit more compatible with your cell phone that might be more beneficial to you. So with these couple options to start me off, or this option to start me off, you can also get royalty-free music and any like sound effects. There are templates and clips and stuff like that you can, you can clip things from YouTube and download things from Instagram. Super easy. If you just Google it, it's pretty easy to clip out. But you don't have to oh, how do I want to say this? It's not you don't have to. It's a more or less a just take a deep breath. Let your lungs fill with air. Exhale, knowing that my next breath will come and I will be fine. And that's it. You'll be fine. You just have to know that you are able to do the things you want to do in life. And yes, you may be stagnant right now. Hopefully this gives you a little bit more, some motivation. Granted, motivation, it's just an emotion. It's not a forever feeling. So those people you see who are always motivated, always grinding, that they work on that shit. Like, you can't just wake up out of bed and be the most motivated human being on the planet. That's not how we work. We have so many more emotions in our systems. Some days we're so depressed you can't get out of bed, you don't want to do anything. And then other days we want to do anything and everything. Clean the house from top to bottom, go for a run, go see as many friends as humanly possible, ignore our problems, fix our problems, work with other people on the problems we're having with them. It's cyclical. It's very, very big cycle that our emotions go through and that we feel. And you have to accept where you're at in your creative process. Like, really, really, really accept where you're at in your creative process, taking accountability of, wow, I could actually be doing more. Or maybe on the flip side of, wow, I'm actually kind of killing myself right now to do this thing. Maybe some of you who are listening have YouTube channels that are a little bit bigger, or that you make a lot of content for. Maybe you can afford to slow it down because your artwork may be suffering because you're just trying to pump artwork out like crazy or content like crazy. And that's okay too. The accountability is the biggest part and portion of your creative process that you might have to take in order to even take that first step. Because if you can't look at yourself and analyze yourself where you are at, it's not a comparison or a race to see who's gonna make it in life. You are your own worst enemy, and you need to realize where you are at and what you are doing. Maybe you are sabotaging yourself and you don't even know it. Maybe you're thinking about, oh, what are other people going to think of me, or what are other people going to say when I do the damn thing. And once you do it, why does their opinion matter? Why does another person's opinion on what you want to do, like what you actually want to do with your life, like you're so excited, you have all of this energy, and then someone comes in and says, no, I don't really like what you're doing. Why does that matter? Why does that matter what they have to say to you about your creative process? It's yours. It's not theirs. Maybe you like me, you like abstract line art, and maybe they like canvas, like oil painting. Well, yeah, of course, they're going to look at my art and be, wow, I could never, that I don't really like that. It's like, okay, well, good for you. I really like your painting over there. It looks really cool. And that's how you get on with your life. You go, you know what? Even though you insulted me, thank you very much for your time and your energy. And I don't need that in my life anymore, or want it around me. Now, that's completely different. And I think people get this confused with constructive criticism, because constructive criticism can be taken sometimes in a very dark light, because a lot of people don't actually know how to give constructive criticism. let alone be able to take constructive criticism. So a lot of times in the art world, and especially if you've been through art classes and whatnot, and I might get this wrong because I've been out of practice for a while, but when people actually sit down and maybe it's your 5th draft of this stupid thing that you've been doing for class, and now you're all gathered around everyone's pieces and you're going through each one and actually giving constructive criticism. Now, it's taking the knowledge of artwork and how maybe you would do it, but taking that and forming it towards someone else's artwork. Kind of like, you know what? I love what you're doing with this piece, and I think it could be improved upon if you tried this. Or maybe you look at the art piece and you go, you know what? Something's missing, but I can't put my finger on it. And then you go from there. Like, it could be that simple, or it could be, you know, I think you should redo this piece, which is, a side note, that is the hardest thing to hear as an artist. After you've poured what seems like your heart and your soul into a piece, and then to just have someone say, you know what, you should redo this because I think you can do better. Which is crazy, because that is probably the harshest criticism I've received, is you should redo this. You should do it over, do it again, and 9 times out of 10, if it was your first idea or your second idea and that's what you ran with and that's what got you to that point, and then someone says that to you, yeah, you kind of reflect back on yourself, and this is where the accountability comes into play of just, you know what, yeah, that person was right. I can actually do better. Yes, this was really stressful, but yeah, they're right. I rushed it. I didn't take my time. There's a whole area that I just stopped working on for weeks, and then I came back to it, forgot what I was doing, mushed it together, and called it a day and turned it in. And giving the opportunity to do things over is probably one of the best feelings ever as well. And if you're looking at some of your artwork and it's really not the greatest, but you really want to keep going, that's fine. You can redo it. And I have redone some of my pieces before, and I'm actually thinking about revisiting some of my older artwork that I would love to almost revamp. It's kind of like I said earlier in the video, it's kind of like taking an art piece that you really enjoy and that you really like the style and how it looks, but then recreating it and see if you can either get as close as the original, if that's your intent, or making it your own. Making it so vastly different that it becomes yours at the end of the day. Which, obviously, if you're copying your own artwork, it's all yours, which is lovely. So with that, I hope that this video was, dare I say, inspiring, dare I say, starts a conversation with yourself, if anything. If you liked this video, if you enjoyed this conversation, I encourage you to leave a comment below if you would like to maybe give me some pointers, give me some constructive criticism, if you will. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.